This is a special hardness test kit from Hach, and I'm just going to show you how to do it. I think using a reagent test rather than test strips is more accurate when you're trying to test your hard water. Another thing about this particular kit is it really isn't that expensive, and you can have quite a lot of tests. I'm going to say probably 100 or so. So you're really getting a value for your money when you get this. And don't be intimidated by the fact that it's a scientific test kit. It's really got pretty simple directions, and I'm going to show you how that works now. Now I already have, all right, this is the bottle that is used as for the test. And I just going to stick it here on a white background so you can see the colors better. Now this is the sample, and the only reason for this vial, and this comes in the test kit, is as a measuring tool. So you're going to get an exact amount of your sample water. Now what I did was I just took a sample of cold water from my tap, my faucet, and I just think cold water is going to be more accurate than warm or anything else. Now keep in mind that your hardness will probably vary from day to day, week to week, month to month, and especially if you live on, if you have your own well water. But you know, I mean, once you get used to it, you'll get a range of hardness. Now if you notice, I just was filling this scoop to the top, overflowing, and then I tap for the extra to just kind of fall off. And now that's my measured amount of the reagent that's going to go into this bottle or whatever. Okay, now it is important to go ahead and close up this reagent jar. You don't want that reagent to get the moisture from the air or anything like that to mess with it. It should stay good for a good period of time. Now putting the reagent in the water is turning it a pink color, and then you just want to mix it enough to where it's all mixed. You don't see any grains of the reagent on the bottom that haven't been dissolved yet, and it takes just a few seconds to do that. Now these are the titration drops, which basically are the tool that you're going to use to measure the hardness of this water sample that we got in here. And it's going to be in grains per gallon. So however many drops it takes me for this pink color to change color is the hardness of this water. So I'm just going to try to I'm totally right-handed, so I better switch hands here. All right, so every time you do a drop, kind of jiggle it a little bit, and then put another drop in. I hope you can see me doing that right. I'm just so right-handed, it's ridiculous. All right, that's 2 drops so far. Here's a third one. And if you ever mess up and you're not sure if it did a drop or maybe it did a double drop, then just start the whole thing over again. And that's 4, 5. It looks like it's starting to change on 5, so it's probably an in-between 5 and 6. So here's the 6th one, and there we go. It's done the whole full change. All right, so that's 6. I'd say I would probably call it 5.5, because normally, you know, grains per gallon is a pretty big deal, and it's likely to be, I would call it 6 just for the sake of argument, but it's probably somewhere between 5 and 6 since it started to change when I put the 5 in. Okay, and that's all. Now, as far as translating that into parts per million, I'm going to put a link to my blog post about this below this video, so you can see the chart that just tells you all about that. And then, well, what about hardness, and what's the what's the what's the big deal? I will also link to a blog post about that, telling you what to do about your hardness and why it is a big deal. Okay, thank you.